Hello everybody, my name is Jennifer Maker. Today I am showing you how to decorate and personalize pot holders to make inexpensive gifts on the Great Maker Show and Tell. So this year I have a lot of people that I want to thank for helping me and my family. I am so grateful and I want to show my appreciation. I've got teachers, counselors, medical professionals, neighbors, friends, coworkers, and the list goes on and on. I need something special that I can gift all of these important people in my life without having to resort to boring gift cards. So I've been hard at work today getting some special gift packages put together, and I thought that you might like to make some too. So if you're also in need of something inexpensive and simple that you can gift in larger quantities, I have just the thing for you. How about a little personalized cookie making kit? This is a warm and cozy gift that is sure to make someone smile. I mean, who doesn't like cookies? And you may be able to find nearly everything that you need for your cookie making kit at the dollar store. I went today and I picked up pot holders and oven mitts and spatulas and whisks and a variety of cookies and brownies. And basically you just take a pot holder and you put a utensil in a bag along with cookies and you've got a gift. But I'm going to go one step further and personalize these pot holders and oven mitts with some fun iron-on vinyl. For example, I'm putting on some cute hand letter sayings like live, love, bake, sweet smell of home, and baker's gonna bake. This will let me keep a stash of gifts on hand for any time that I need to give one away. But for the others, I'm personalizing them with a person's name or family name in a split monogram. And I think they turned out really classy without breaking the bank. Now, the fun little sentiment designs are free on my blog and you're welcome to use them. I'd also like to show you how to make the split monogram so you can personalize your pot holders for individuals and families as well. Now let me show you how to create a personalized split monogram, and then we will iron some heat transfer vinyl together so you can see how it works. Your first step is to get my free pot holder designs. I keep all of my free designs in my library. Go to jennifermaker.com, go to the red bar at the top of the screen and click on Enter the Library. Once you're inside the library, the fastest way to find my designs is to search the page and type in pot space holder. And you'll find it right here. Click on the file itself and it will download. And then if you click open, it'll unzip it for you. And this is what the files inside look like. Now let's go upload these to Cricut Design Space so I can show you how to use them and how to make some split monograms. For step 2, you need to prepare your pot holder designs for cutting. Here we are in Cricut Design Space with a new canvas. You want to click on Upload, Upload Image, Browse, and then find the SVG file inside the directory that you downloaded from my blog, and click on Open. And you will see the 4 designs that I have in this file appear on the screen. Click Save in the lower right corner, and then once they're saved to your Cricut Design Space account, select it and then click Insert Images. And there you go, you'll see the 4 designs here. You can choose all of them or one of them. If you want to use just one, you can simply hide the others over here on the right by clicking on the eye icon. Or you can also do things like ungroup them and change them, modify them. For example, I'll ungroup this. And let's say you really like Baker's Gonna Bake, but you don't want the 2 spatulas there. So you could simply click on Contour. And then down here at the bottom are the spatulas. You can click on all of the elements inside there and they will not show up in your design. And there you go. We've hidden a part of the design that we don't necessarily want. You can do the same kind of thing if you need to change the orientation of the things in this design file at all to suit your needs. Now, I also want to show you how you can personalize them with a name, whether it's a first name or a last name or really any word that you want to use. I'm going to select all of these designs and move them over on our screen. And a split monogram is essentially a letter that is cut in half, and there's a space in the middle for you to put the actual name. So there's two ways that you can make a split monogram in Cricut Design Space. One is to actually use a font, a split monogram font, and the other is to create it yourself using the slice and weld tools. I'm going to show you how to do both. So I have several monogram fonts already purchased and uploaded, and I'm going to show you all three to see if there is something that you want to use, and so that you can see how it works. So I'm going to type a letter M, and I'll move this up here so we can see it. And I'm going to make a split monogram for the word maker. Okay, we want to change this to one of our split monogram fonts, and one of those is called Original, and I'm just typing right in here to search for it. Original split font. Here it is, right here. And it looks like this. And this is what a split monogram looks like. And that space in the middle there is designed for you to put a name or a word or whatever you want. So I'm going to click on text again. And this time I'm going to type in the name. Now you'll notice it just defaults to the last font we used, but naturally we don't want this font for our name. Instead, I mean, we could use almost anything that you want. You could use Helvetica, for example. A very simple font, and we can change it to bold, so I think that looks a little bit better, and click and drag that into position here. You can see it's just a little bit short, a little bit too long. I'm going to zoom in so you can see better. Just a little bit too long here, so I'm going to click and drag this resize handle like this. That looks really good. So this is a split monogram. See how easy that was? And it's very classy. And then once you've got your letter and your name, you want to weld these things or attach them together. Weld, I think, tends to work better, especially if you have any cursive fonts. So either attach or, and I'll undo that, or weld. Now you'll be wondering, when should I use attach versus when should I use weld? Attach is used when you want to keep things together but want to be able to continue to edit them. Weld, on the other hand, sticks things together permanently, and once it's welded, you're not going to be able to edit the word maker here again unless you were to undo everything back to where you were before. So if you think you're going to edit it, choose attach. If you want it to be one object with no bits that are separate, then use weld. So let me show you the other two fonts that I found for split monograms. Move this one here. All right, so I'm going to click attach again and type another M and move it up here. And it is called, oh, here it is. It's called Monogram Split. Now again, I purchased these fonts outside of Cricut Design Space and uploaded them. I have the links to these fonts on my blog post and in the link to this video. So when I change my M to the Monogram Split font, I get this, which if you look closely, it looks like the top of an M. So it behaves a little differently from the other split monogram font that we just used. Now, how do we get the bottom of the M? We type it again, only this time instead of an uppercase M, we use a lowercase m. So let's do that. In fact, I'll just duplicate this one. So I right click it and duplicate it. And I'm going to double click on the text so that I can change it. And I'm going to just delete and put in a lowercase m. And ta-da, there we go. So this font comes in two parts. And what's nice about that is that you have control over how much space is in between your lines. Because if you're using a word that's, let's say, a lot longer or a lot shorter, you need more or less space than you might have in this one. For example, if I type mom, and of course change that font to, we'll put it in Helvetica like the other one, and change that to bold because I think it looks better when it's bold. And click and drag that into position. You can see that this mom needs a lot more space than maker does. And so having this font can really help you because you have more control over the size of the space inside your split monogram. However, if you prefer this simpler font, all is not lost. You can absolutely still use this one. You'll just need to do something like duplicate it. so that you have a second copy, and then use contour to remove the parts that you don't want. For example, I can do that, and now I have just the bottom, and on this one I can contour out that's the bottom on this one, like and then of course all the words, we don't all the letters, I mean. Let's see, make this smaller. It's easier to do it here like this. And this one, there we go. Now I have more control over the sizing of this split monogram. So you can see how this works, and really you have a lot of control. Let me show you one more cute split monogram font that you might enjoy, especially around Christmas time. All right, so I'm going to click on text and type another M, and click and drag this up here so it's bigger. And this font is called Reindeer Dust, and it looks like this. And so you can see this one has the top and the bottom all in the same letter, and it's really cute because it's got antlers and little ornaments dangling from it. It's very cute. And so this would work the same way. We would just click type and put in our word, change it again to something other than our monogram font. I like the nice bold letters because it's just a lot easier to read inside something that's kind of busy. A split monogram is not the simplest thing ever. With this font, sure, we can do the whole contour thing to make it bigger, because right now you can see it's like just not quite wide enough for Maker. So here's another trick. You can click the unlock button over here, and then you can click and drag to make just like kind of smush Maker so that it fits. See? And then be sure that you select everything and either attach it or weld it. And that's it. That's how easy it is to make split monograms with a font. Now, what if you don't want to use a font? What if, well, you always have to use fonts, but what if you don't want to use a split monogram font? What if there's some other awesome font out there that you want to make a split monogram out of? Well, you totally can. So I'm going to do that for you. We're going to click on text, and I'm going to type in another M. And this time I'm going to choose a font that I'm very fond of right now. It's very pretty, and it goes really well with our Potholder designs, and it is called Magnolia Sky. You probably will recognize that if you've been watching my videos lately. It's very calligraphic. It looks hand lettered. I really like it. Oop, that's giant. We don't need it quite that big. So here is our very pretty M, and I want to turn this into a split monogram, and you can totally do this. Let's give ourselves a little bit more space here. All right, so here is our M that we're going to turn into a split monogram. So first we click on shapes and we choose square. And we're going to click the lock button in the lower left corner, and then we're going to click the resize handle to create a rectangle that's approximately the size of the empty space that you want for your name. And then we're going to click and slide that into position. You get to decide where this goes. It could be down here, it could be up here, although that doesn't look so good because you can't tell it's an M. So I'd say either down here or right in the middle. I'm going to put it right in the middle. And then you select these two layers. It's very important, just these two layers. And then you click slice. We're slicing that rectangle shape out of our letter. And now we can click everything in the middle and completely remove it. So now we have a space for our name, and we can simply right now just type the name that we want. We could even go with this one. This one doesn't look quite so bad. Let's see. I'm curious how this will look inside. I mean, I think it tends to look better if you go with something simpler than your fancy monogram, but you know, sometimes it looks okay. And then we have to make that a lot smaller, of course. It's not bad, but it's not great because of the height thing there. I guess it would be a lot smaller, I guess. I guess we could do it like that, but I don't like that. You know, because there's just a lot of empty space here and here and here. Let me make that a little bigger so you can make sure you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, no, let's change this back to like Helvetica. I think that having the nice, big, bold, chunky font like Helvetica, and let's put that in all caps, I think that it really helps with the split monograms. It helps it look more cohesive and it's easier to understand and read. Let's give this a good letter space again. There we go. So we can literally just put maker right here in the middle, and you know, we can then do contour to change the size of our bottom on the M. But we can still put lines in here like the other monogram fonts have. You'll notice that all three of these have lines in them, and it helps delineate where the name is. So the lines, and I recommend this. So let's move our name out of the way, and we're going to go back to the shapes menu, and we're going to click on shapes and click square, and we're going to again click on the lock button in the lower left corner, and then use our resize handle to make a long skinny line like this. You get to choose how long you want it to be, completely up to you. And then I want you to right click on it and duplicate it. So you have two of them that are exactly the same size, and then you put them so they're just overlapping the bottom of the letter at the top and the top of the letter at the bottom, like this. And it's a good idea to make sure that your two lines are aligned by going to the align icon at the top and choosing align left or align right, whichever one. And then you can select the whole thing and you can click weld, and you get this. So see, you can make any split monogram you want out of anything. And then you can take your letter, your name, and put it back into position and unlock it so that you can make it fit well into your space. Isn't that cool? I think that I love split monograms. I think they're very elegant and classy and timeless. They will still look great in 50 years. So we have a number of designs here, and the next step is to make sure that they're sized properly for our pot holders or oven mitts or whatever we're going to put these onto. So get out a ruler and check the size and be sure that you leave a margin of space around the edges, because nothing looks very good when it's edge to edge and top to bottom. Having some negative space around the edges is helpful for the eye and is more aesthetically pleasing. So for example, with our pot holders, the ones that I bought from Dollar Tree that I'm using in this tutorial, our imprint area is 5 inches wide by 4.5 inches high. So for example, we want to size this to be within that range. So I'm going to click and drag the resize handle, and I can see the size there, and I can see that this right here is about 5 inches. I can also literally just type it up here in the H field and type the number 5, and then press return, and it resizes it to 5 for me. And we can do the same thing for all of these other ones here. So we can make these 5 inches high, and we'll make this one 5 inches high. Of course, they don't have to take up all the space. You can make tiny little monograms if you want. It's completely up to you. And there we go. So let's make sure all of our designs are either attached or welded. So this one is neither. So let's just go ahead and attach it. This one looks a little bit funny to me. Let's fix that one. There we go. And then select both of them and attach them. These two need to be, these two are already attached, and these two, by the way, I can tell. I'm looking at my layers panel over here on the right. That's how I can tell. Like when I see just the 3 things and no word that says attached, I know they're not attached yet. And once I attach it, what you'll see is I do right here. There we go. The word attached appears, and I see all of those are attached. And the designs that we uploaded earlier, they're all ready to go for you. Let's go back here and uncontour this so that we show everything, because we want to cut out everything. All right, so now we have our pot holder designs properly sized, and these are just about ready to cut. Let's go ahead and click on Make It in the upper right corner, and it will separate everything out into mats. Now, something very important that you cannot forget to do is whenever you're going to cut iron-on vinyl, which is what we're going to use for this project, you must mirror it because iron-on vinyl is cut face down because of the way that it just works. Make sure you come over here where it says mirror and toggle it on for all your mats, whatever you're going to do. You may also want to click and drag some of these elements around just so you have a little bit of extra space. Some of them are very close together. In fact, I'm going to just move this one over to my other mat since there's plenty of space over there. And there we go. So now we have 4 designs on each mat, and that makes it pretty easy for us to use. Everything's got a little space, which is it's good to have a little space around your designs when you're doing things like iron-on vinyl. And this looks great. So I've got them separated out. So let's cut these. By the way, you might be wondering, well, isn't that black? I'm pretty sure that I saw her earlier and she had white vinyl, not black. Remember, it doesn't really matter what color this is. We can cut in fuchsia right now if we want to. It only matters when you're trying to visualize it and on the screen, or when you need a reminder to change the color, right? So you've specifically set colors, and then if you watch the colors here as you're cutting, you know, oh yeah, this is the pink layer, and then you change it to the pink layer. But we're doing everything in white. We don't need to change the color. It's not important. So we click continue. All right, so we're going to click on browse all materials up here in the upper right corner. And we're just going to cut these on everyday Cricut iron-on, which is a great iron-on vinyl. So everyday iron-on. So we select that and we click done. And that's it. Let's head on over to my workspace and cut these out. Step 3, cut out your pot holder design. Using a green standard grip mat, place your iron-on heat transfer vinyl with the shiny side face down on the cutting mat. If you're not sure how to tell which side is the shiny side, I have a whole guide on how to tell which side of the vinyl to cut over on my blog at jennifermaker.com. And always do one more double check that you have mirrored your iron-on design before you cut it. Step 4, weed your iron-on vinyl. Now carefully weed the excess vinyl from your cut vinyl using a weeding tool. Pay attention to any letters with centers so you don't accidentally leave them in. Step 5, apply the design to your pot holders. First, use a lint brush to clean off the imprint area on your pot holder or oven mitt. If you're using a Cricut Easy Press, consult the Cricut Heat Guide that I have linked here for temperature and time based on the vinyl that you're using and your pot holder material. Now the heat guide says that if I'm using this Easy Press and I'm using the Cricut Everyday Iron-On Vinyl, that I should heat it for 30 seconds at 315 degrees with a 5-second preheat and a warm peel after application. Here's exactly what to do if you're also using the Easy Press and using this same pot holder and this same vinyl. First, turn on your Cricut Easy Press, set it to 315 degrees, and allow it to preheat. Now first press your pot holder or oven mitt with a piece of parchment on top for 5 seconds to prepare it for the vinyl. This helps to remove any moisture that might be lingering there and helps the vinyl stick better to it. Next, position the iron-on vinyl decal on the pot holder or oven mitt and press for 30 seconds. Allow the liner to cool just a little bit so it's warm to the touch instead of hot, and then peel it off. Now, do not flip the pot holder over and press from the back as you might with another iron-on project. The pot holder has a special coating on the back, and not only can you damage the coating by heating it, but it won't do a bit of good for the vinyl on the front. And that is it. Isn't that easy? You can make a whole bunch of these and give them to everybody. I cannot wait to give these cookie making kits away this year. They're going to be a big hit. I just know it. I may even have purchased a couple extra cookie mixes for myself. I have a weakness for warm and gooey chocolate chip cookies, I will admit. Now, if you have any questions at all about how to personalize these pot holders and oven mitts, please just leave your question below this video or come on over to our Cricut Crafters Facebook group at jennifermaker.com/Cricut Crafters. And if you don't yet have a Cricut to cut out your vinyl, consider entering my Cricut giveaway going on right now. You can enter for the chance to win a Cricut Maker or Cricut Explorer. Get all of the giveaway details at jennifermaker.com/Cricut giveaway. And that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll be back to show you how to decorate a serving tray with paint and vinyl, yet still keep it safe to serve food. Remember, I am always interested in your project ideas. If you can tell me what you want to make, I can show you how to make it. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft the life you love.